All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And I would have really liked to have had this video up a couple of days ago. But again, I am still focused on my recovery. But I did want to talk about this bit of news. I have a couple of things to show you as well. And it has to do with Jason Momoa being cast as Lobo. And a lot of people thought this came out of left field. Some people were saying it was Twitter casting. And it was actually none of those things. And we're going to talk about that here in today's video. And I'm also going to talk about how his casting as Lobo shows, again, that Gunn is not being 100% truthful with the information he is giving out in regards to how things are actually happening behind the scenes. And he would be better off just not being on social media at all at this stage because he's not doing himself any favors. But let's take a look at some of the photos. Now, if you like the videos that I have been producing and you guys like my content, please take the time to like the video. YouTube loves that. Also, hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you will be notified when I have new videos go up. I am going to be ramping up the amount of videos that I'm able to do here shortly, and you definitely don't want to miss out on any of the content. But let's get started. So the first photo I actually wanted to show you guys here is something that my wife got me for Christmas. These are the hardbound versions of the Batman run back from 2011 with Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. And, you know, I've been reading Batman for over 35 years now, and this run here is my favorite run of Batman in all of those years. And I have the original comics. They're going to remain bagged, but and I'm sorry if I've already shared this in a video. I don't think I have, but honestly, I don't know. And so I wanted to share it. I have the original comics, but they're going to remain bagged, and I wanted to reread this stuff. And so these are massive. These books, like the first one is like 1,200 pages, which is crazy. But this is something my wife gifted me for Christmas. Now, right here, somebody asked James Gunn, any chance Creature Commandos will have a post-credits scenes? And James Gunn said the season finale will, yes. Now, is it going to be cameo porn again? Or is it going to be something meaningful? We shall see when it ends. So there are 2 more episodes of Creature Commandos, so I may catch up on it sometime this week so that when it's done, I'll be able to give my overall review for it. But I think you guys know I was not thrilled with the first 2 episodes and some of the stuff I've seen since. Just really not hitting it for me. His humor is not my type of humor. I don't like these types of, team-ups with James Gunn. They're juvenile, they're disgusting, and it's just who he is. Now, James Gunn posted this on Christmas. He said, Merry Christmas, everyone. We're working on your gift. It will be ready in July. He's obviously talking about Superman. And there was someone had taken the Superman trailer and did it all in Lego. You can see that on YouTube. It's actually pretty cool. I still got to come in and do a new video on my thoughts on the trailer because they have evolved a little bit. And hopefully I'll do that here in the next day or so. Now this photo here is something that's interesting. I'm going to see if I can zoom in here so you guys can see what this is. I did a video about this before on just how cheap everything looks under James Gunn compared to what we had. I mean, just look at King Shark from the CW versus what he did in Suicide Squad. Look at the Superman suits. Especially look at Hawk Girl versus Hawkman. And then you have the Suicide Squad versus Suicide Squad. Again, here, Boomerang. You got, now Peacemaker, again, these characters are not done correctly under James Gunn. They are not goofy, silly characters, but that's what he's made them. And it just kind of goes down the line here. They definitely changed Amanda Waller's personality. She doesn't seem nearly as conniving and as a force to reckon with as she did in the original Suicide Squad movie. So everything is pretty much a downgrade, unfortunately, and it's just the truth. So there are rumors going around, and I don't know if this is true, that Zack Snyder is going to come back to do another DC movie for Warner Brothers. And there are rumors swirling around that Untitled DC movie would be The Dark Knight Returns, which is a pet project that Zack Snyder has always wanted to do. And so there is a possibility that that could be happening. But again, it's definitely just a rumor at this stage. Now, I thought this was interesting. Veteran DC Comics artist Ethan Vanskyr criticizes James Gunn's DCU Guy Gardner look, calling it atrociously stupid looking and a humiliation. I would agree with this. The quote was, all right, so here we have an atrociously stupid-looking Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner Green Lantern. This is a humiliation. It is. I'm sorry, but both Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl look like parodies in the trailer. They look like parodies in the set photos. Obviously, they did not improve upon any of that stuff in post. It's what they're going to look like in the movie. Frank Grillo talking about DC and Marvel. He says, Marvel's a different machine, and it's great in its own right. But the thing I love about DC is that it's much more contained. It's so much more personal, and I really enjoy it better. Well, why does he enjoy it better? Because he's in almost every project so far. He's getting work. As an actor, that's awesome. So he's going to feed into that. This really has nothing to do with the quality of the projects themselves. Now, I thought this was pretty funny. I'd like to know. I have not seen Sonic 2, so I'm definitely not going to see Sonic 3. I can't really get out of the house. Someone posted this and it said they had Man of Steel references in Sonic 3. I'd love to know what those references were. If you guys have seen the film, please chime off in the comments and let me know what those references were. I thought that was pretty cool. So here was the big news from the last couple of days. Jason Momoa has officially been cast as Lobo in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, flying into theaters June 26th of 2026. All right, now I need to talk about a couple of things in regards to this. First of all, this news came off of the bad news about the screenings. Now, the screenings for Superman being more negative. Now, what's really funny about those screenings is a lot of people came in and said, a couple of outlets had posted that there were no screenings to Superman, that they never happened. Yet, they have happened. Because James Gunn himself even commented, and this is something I wanted to talk about in my last video, James Gunn had commented on those screenings about a month or so ago, and somebody asked him how they went, and he just simply said, good. I even reported on this and had his quote. So they did happen. So these outlets saying they didn't happen are wrong. And the people trying to come to me and tell me that it's fake news is wrong. Why would he not elaborate? Because it probably wasn't in his favor. Now, there was one report that came out shortly after I posted my last video that said that the movie was Guardians of the Galaxy type good. I don't see that as good in any stretch of the imagination. Superman should not be like Guardians of the Galaxy. I already think there's way too many characters in the Superman movie that they can't focus on Superman enough. And I think it's going to take away from the quality of the film. Again, James Gunn does not have the capability of writing a single superhero type film. And I'm really worried about what's going to happen with that. Now, because of that negative buzz, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, out of left field, they come out and announce that Jason Momoa has been cast as Lobo to get that focus off of the screenings, which did happen, okay? Now, what's funny about this is James Gunn has said in the past that they will not cast a role until a script is ready. Do you know how long ago Jason Momoa was actually cast as Lobo? It was a long time ago. Months and months and months ago. He even posted a video about it, but said he couldn't talk about what he was getting cast as, but we knew it had to do with the DCU. So for people to be surprised that this is happening, it's not. This was done a long time ago, but why was he cast in that role a long time ago? It also makes James Gunn kind of a liar on something that we're going to look at. Hopefully I got a screen grab of it here in a few minutes. Here are my feelings of Jason Momoa being Lobo. He is an actor. I'm happy that he's getting work. This is his dream job. This is the character he always wanted to play. There's no question about it. This is his dream role. But so was Superman for Henry Cavill, and that got pulled away from him. And there are people that say that Cavill had his time and now it's time for someone like Jason Momoa to have his time. What's crazy about all of this is Zack Snyder took great strides to make Aquaman relevant and cool. And all they did with the second Aquaman movie was turn him into a complete joke. Jason Momoa did not act like Aquaman. He acted like a silly Jason Momoa playing Aquaman. And there were some scenes in there that were ultra cringe. They were ridiculous. It was sad to see that was the way that the DCEU ended. His heart wasn't in it. He didn't care. He turned it into a joke. So, personally, I'm glad he's getting Lobo. Now, a lot of people are saying this is going to confuse the general audience. No, it's not. He's going to be so full of makeup, no one's even going to probably know that it's Jason Momoa except the people that know who Jason Momoa is. No one is going to ever say, hey, that's Aquaman. That's not going to happen. And a lot of people are assuming that a lot of other DCEU characters are going to also make their way into the DCU, and I don't see that happening either. And so this is just another one of those things. Some people thought it was Twitter casting, and it wasn't. This was something that happened a long time ago, and pretty much everyone knew about it. It's nothing special. James Gunn posted this with the announcement. I don't know why he's wrapped in an American flag, but James Gunn was just posting this as confirmation that he was getting cast as Lobo. Now, this also came out that Jason Manganiello is not coming back as Deathstroke for the Deathstroke and Bane movie, which is to be expected. I didn't expect him to come back. A lot of people were upset. People were talking about this, but we never got to see what we wanted to see, and it's a shame that all these guys were ready to play these characters, and they just never pulled the trigger on it. It's a damn shame, because all we're going to get now is a parody of everything. Now, David Leech wants to do a Lobo film with Jason Momoa. He said, let's do a Lobo feature. And I wouldn't be surprised if this has been in the plans for a long time, because, like I said, if you go by what James Gunn says, he says he does not cast people until a script is done. And we know that he was cast as Lobo a long, long time ago. Now, this is the thing where I said James Gunn was lying. It says, James Gunn denies rumors that Jason Momoa will play Lobo in the new DC universe. He says, I will say we won't have an actor playing two different roles. Now, he's already broken that with Creature Commandos and some of the voice actors and stuff like that. But on this note, he's saying this and people took it as he's Aquaman and he won't be cast as anything else. Well, he's no longer Aquaman. So this is a half-truth because James Gunn knows what's going on behind the scenes. This is definitely when they had already cast him as Lobo, so he knew his time as Aquaman was up, basically. And so it's just kind of crazy, the half-truths and the stuff that James Gunn says out there that, it just muddies the waters. Now, Bill Skarsgard was in an interview, and he kind of talked a lot about the DCU. He's lobbying to be in the DCU. And he says he would love to play Batman in the DCU, but hasn't heard how far along Andy Muschietti is with The Brave and the Bold. He would not make a good Bruce Wayne, people. Not even close. At the same time, during that same interview, he was saying how he would be interested in playing the Joker. And the quote is, there's a pretty cool Joker in me, and it would be very sick. Yes, I could see him as the Joker. Not as Bruce Wayne, but as the Joker. But he is lobbying for that at this stage. But we don't know if that will happen. We don't even know what's going on with Batman. And I'll talk more about my feelings on the whole Batman debacle at the end of this video. Now, this was pretty cool, and this was deservedly so. Absolute Batman is the #1 top-selling comic book of 2024. That is pretty freaking cool. It deserves it. If you guys are not reading this, you are definitely missing out. All right, so I wanted to talk about Batman for a minute. And this goes to show you how poor of a job that David Zaslav is at running Warner Brothers and how James Gunn just is doing the stuff that he's interested in doing. It is a fact that Batman is the #1 selling property with DC. If you don't lean into Batman at every angle, what are you doing? Batman is the guy who sells tickets at the theater. And it's proven time and time again. And it's done in comics. It's done in cinema. It is a fact that Batman sells. And to be stepping away from all these versions of Batman at the beginning of the DCU is a huge misstep. It's a huge misstep. Now, a lot of people are saying, hey, there's other characters to explore, but they're not the characters that are going to bring the ticket sales. They're just not. And I don't think Superman is going to be the movie everybody expects it to be. I've already shown a lot of stuff where it's kind of up in the air what's going to happen with that movie. I don't think it's going to do all that well in theaters and that people are not going to give it a chance. And come to find out, a lot of the YouTube views were used as an ad, and ads automatically play. And if even 2 seconds plays or it's an ad, anybody who sees that as an ad, that's going to count as a view, whether they watched it or not. And that's how they've been able to artificially inflate those numbers of how much that trailer has actually been viewed. And again, YouTube is free. Does not equate to ticket sales. And as we see more and more from the film, we're going to see whether it's something people are going to be interested in or not. All right, guys, so there's my update for the day. There's lots of videos I want to do. Whether I can get around to them or not at this stage is a whole different story, but I should be ramping up the amount of videos that I'm doing. I do appreciate all the support. Again, if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up. We'll see you guys on the next video.